Hello everyone, this is Sue from Sue's Paper Creations and welcome. I am getting right down to a watery mess today with a fun watercolor technique that I want to show you, a different way in which you can step up your cards. So that's what we're doing today. We're doing a step up for some watercoloring, and I hope you're going to enjoy this today. I want to welcome you here to Sue's Paper Creations. My name is Sue Phillip. I am coming to you from the west coast of Canada on Vancouver Island, and on Sunday I love to hop on and I love to show you ways in which you can take your paper crafting, card making to the next level. So today I wanted to do it with some watercolor. I've done a little bit of pre-stamping. I had to let some things dry so that I can show you different steps in this technique. So that's why we're a little bit later today, but I'm so glad that you are here with me and I hope you guys enjoy this. For this technique, we're going to be doing some resists. I'm going to be doing some block work with that resist, and then we're going to add some color to our images after. So I think you guys are going to find this quite interesting, and I hope you give it a try. It's a messy thing to do, but it's so fun. So, and your results are always so different. So yeah, I hope you give it a try and I hope you enjoy this. Now, a couple things that I do want to remind you of. I am going to be giving away, let's see here. Pat was our lucky winner the other morning. Good morning, Pat. I've got your package to mail out tomorrow, but she was the lucky winner of a Fun Fold class, and I have got another one here that I'm going to be giving away today as well. So I'll do that a little bit later on. Oh my goodness, what can I tell you? For one thing, I've been working out this morning, so this is why you're not seeing all of me today, because I am a hot, sweaty mess here. It's not a good sight. So you're seeing my hands today, but I fit it in. And yeah, I've got paper share that is open right now. Well, not just paper. It is a one and done product share that I'm doing for the new annual catalog and the new online exclusives. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait to order up all the stuff. There's so many beautiful papers and ribbons that are coming out. I'm going to chuck in some card bases like I did last time, 30 card bases, 2 of 15 different colors as a little freebie, a package of embellishments of the new ink colors. But we have got 15 new amazing paper packages that are coming out, all different pattern papers and some specialty papers, and they're just so beautiful. Some of them are online, some of them are in the catalog. I'm covering them all. It's going to be all in one here. So you're going to get a quarter package of all 15 of those. You're going to get, there is 8. I actually said 8, but there is a couple also ribbons that are just, they're like a dual pack, and there's just a tiny bit on each roll. I'm going to chuck those in too. So you're actually going to get 8, 9, 10 different ribbons. So you probably end up with about 22 yards. And then some, the coolest ephemera pack it's coming up, and I love it. It has a little bit of everything in it. It's called Good Times. So you can find it's my product. So it's a paper ribbon and Good Times and product share, and you will find that in the link. I didn't even put my link up today, but I'll do that after. Okay. And I've got yeah, if you need a catalog, let me know. I'm going to be doing my last minute catalog registration. What else can I tell you? Of course, May's registration is open for Card Club. And I've got some PDFs and videos if you missed any of the last 4 monthly clubs and you want to have some fun with that. Okay. All right. We got some people joining me near and far. I'm glad you guys are here. I'm glad you guys found me a little bit later today. and let's get messy and wet, okay? So I am going to bring in, this is just a piece of scrap paper I've been working with as I've been doing a little pre-work. And we're gonna have some fun with some watercolor paper. So a little backstory. Another reason why you're not seeing my camera today and me is because I have literally torn my craft room apart in the last couple days, and I am doing a big switch over, of course, clearing out stuff that is no longer in circulation and just tidying up. Like, I have got the class scraps of 10 years plus past. So I have got so much stuff, and it is amazing what I've been finding. Every time I open, I don't want gold, I don't think. No, I want to have, although gold might be interesting. Let's try gold. I have got, oh my goodness, stuff, old papers, some of them that I found that were my favorites from over the years. And I've been putting together all sorts of little grab packages. So you will see more of that in the next little bit. But yeah, I've been having a lot of fun. I have been getting just lost in scraps and different cardstocks and ribbons and embellishments, and it's been a ton of fun. So I will share some of that for you today. I am going to start for our technique. I'm starting with a butterfly. I'm warming up with the butterfly. I've got a few things that are already stamped and embossed, but then I'm going to bring water to our Umbella Days is what I'm going to do, because after all, there is umbrellas in the stamp, so they should be okay, right? All right, so I'm going to start. I'm stamping. This is watercolor paper, and we do have watercolor paper. And the packages are in, I'm trying to think the sizing now. It is set 5x9 by 7, I do believe. So what I like to do is I like to cut them right in half. So I've got 3.5 inches, which is perfect, by, let's see here, 5 inches. So it's actually, I guess it's 7 by 5. Sorry, 5 by 7. And did I do my buddy on here? I didn't. Let's see how this works out without my buddy. So I am embossing on, I've got a little bit of extra bits and pieces in here that I don't want for my embossing. Let's see if I can get some of them out with a brush. Because I am using watercolor paper for my embossing, you are not going to get as solid as a, look at that, I've got some little bits and pieces in there I don't want. That's my fault for not using my buddy. I don't know if I can get my bristles in here. Let's see. Maybe. But you're not going to get as solid as an image when you use your Versamark and your embossing powders, because it is a slightly rippled surface, right? It's not totally flat like our plain white is. But our plain white cannot take the water in this the technique that we're doing, like the watercolor paper can. So it is kind of a trade-off, but as you can see, it's going to be beautiful. So I'm going to heat this up. How's everyone doing today? Little late to the party? No, you're not. I am late to the party today. Mary, I didn't start until 9:30 today. And I'm going to show you how to do this little technique. Today is about a technique that you can use to do a different look on your cards, a different way to step things up. So I like to show you different things on what you can do with your card making. So I'm just heating up our butterfly. And we'll see how this does with the resist. I don't like the fact I've got a little tiny bit of extra powder in places I didn't want. It's because I didn't use my buddy. There we go. My embossing buddy. I did not use it today. That's okay. All right, so there is our butterfly, and that is embossed in the gold. So we're gonna do a little resist on that. And then I've got one that I did in black as well. Look at that. That turned out perfect. This one, not so much, but it's okay. When we get our resist on there, it's gonna be fantastic. So, you know what? I could just do it right on my plain old mat here. We're gonna get mucky right on the mat. I've got something to wipe it down with. I do believe after if I need to. Yes, I do. So we will go for it right on the mat. What I'm going to be using is I'm going to be using a large block. And you may have done block work before with your colors. And I'm going to warm up. I'm going to do that one although I want to be able to color this one. I'm going to do this one first. We're jumping right in. We're jumping right in with our Umbella Days. So we have, for this one, again, it is watercolor paper. I have done black embossing and just this simple image. I'm going to now take my big block and I'm going to start putting some color down here. Okay. So I'm going to put a little bit of green for grass. I am going to combine, let's see, I've got a couple different colors. I think I'm just going to use those two. I'm going to do the butterfly in the turquoises. But I've got a little bit of basic gray, and I'm just pressing it right down onto the block. Okay, I use the tip of it, so I'm not going to get, you know, my gray into my green, all that sort of stuff. But I am filling in the voids with a little bit of pool party as well. So, I mean, for our rainy sky, there's going to be a glimpse of blue in it, but we're going to have some gray in it as well. And it may be hard to see the colors. There we go. But there is basic gray. We got some pool party, some more basic gray. We got some green on the bottom. And we're going to spritz it with some water. We're going to turn it over and we're just going to splat it down onto our glass mat here. So this is one of the great things about the glass mat. It is the perfect surface to do any type of watercolor work. I don't have to worry about it getting on paper because it's just going to be on the glass mat. So you can see I've got a fair amount of water on there. I used to do this technique all the time with our shimmer white. They took our shimmer white away, which made me sad because I loved it. But there is other ways that you can get some sparkle on your paper as well. I'll show you that another day. But we are going to take, look at that big watery mess. Fun. And we're going to do a flip. Are you ready? Here we go. Just like that. I had to make the sound effect. Okay. And we're splatting it down. Just like that. Okay. And look at our image. Can't wait to see this. Never done this before. Good. Well, give it a try. So there is, I'm giving it a second to get as much water as I can. It's starting to fill in a little bit of the holes. The less water you have these white spots. See how there's white spots in there? I kind of like those white spots for a stormy, wintry, or watery mess, right? Because we got umbrella, we got rain. So it's kind of nice to have those white spots, almost like there's a storm. It's kind of a stormy day. Okay, now we're gonna peel it from the side back. Look at that. What's the most absorbent thing? well, we got a little TP here, and I am just going to dab off, see if I can get some of that green off there. But we're just going to let that dry. Look at that already. Isn't that amazing already? I know, it's so beautiful, but we're going to add a little bit more to it, okay? I've done it in white already, and I can already tell you, I love the black. I love the black more than the white, but we're going to make the white pop, and it's going to be a different look. So that's why I thought it would be cool to show you. Now I'm mopping up my mess. I thought it would be cool to show you this done in white embossing and black. We're going to let the black dry, and I will bring in the white here in a second. I think the black is going to be more striking than the white just because of the colors that we're doing. Like, look at that. And I think those little white voided areas are perfect. The imperfections are what makes it perfection, right? Remember that. Your imperfections, you do homemade stuff, imperfections make things perfect, right? So you can't overthink it, and you can't control water. That is one of the biggest things, is you cannot control water. So you have to just go with it. All right, so I'm going to put this one over here. It's going to dry, and I'm going to heat it with the heat tool a little bit later. I'm going to do this one just because we're going to see what this turns out like, because I haven't done the gold with the watercolor before, but let's give it a try. I'm going to do some pretty colors, and again, we'll fill it in a little bit once it dries. So these are similar colors. We have got Summer Splash, Coastal Cabana, which is it's almost like a lighter tone of it. I'm going to bring in the Pool Party too. And just add it in the voids. Now, I often do this with Pool Party. It's one of my favorite colors to do this type of resist with, because it's usually a skyline that I'm doing. So I have got this ink pad and the gray one. They're old ink pads of mine that I've had, and I've kept them around just for this sort of stuff. I mean, you just have to be careful when you're using your ink pads. And it's easy to do because the water disperses as it gets, or the color disperses as it gets wet. So you don't have to worry too much about the colors on your ink pads. But I have one that I just use for techniques, my old ink pads. Let's see how this is going to turn out, if there's enough water on here. Okay. This is going to have some nice white voids too. Okay, we got a little bit of a cloud over here for this butterfly. Let's see if I can smush it in. The more you kind of let it sit for a moment, and we'll crop this down a little bit maybe, because I did go not quite onto all of the white. That's okay, because I can roll this right off the edge. Are we ready? I thought the turquoise would look beautiful with the gold, and I think it does. Look at that. So pretty. You can see now where all my little fine little dots are, as I didn't use my embossing buddy, but that's okay. Okay, we're gonna do a little cleanup. So imagine the different colors that you can play with. When you are doing colors, there's a couple things that you want to keep in mind, because you know what, I don't even mind that line there. It's kind of nice. Because you are it's like a science experiment, really. Like if you go and you mix a whole bunch of different colors together and they run together, you might get a muddy mess. So you have to keep that in mind. So I often stick with greens and blues. Surprise, surprise. Or if I'm going to do, say, purples, I've done red, orange, and yellow. That looks amazing. Purples, if I'm going to do purples, I'm careful with purples. I may combine them with pinks, but I won't do like blues and maybe Pool Party because it's a light color. But you don't want to do too many strong, totally different colors because you're going to have those colors combining with the water and you can't control that. That's one of the things that I love about doing this technique is that there's no controlling it. You just have to go with it and see what the results are, right? So here are our two that we've just pressed. Aren't they beautiful? I am going to hit these ones with the heat tool in a little bit. I'm going to let them dry naturally as much as they can. And I'm going to start working on, I'm going to bring in so you can see the difference. There is the white and there is the black. For that, I need a little bit more toilet paper here. I got a little bit more water going right here. Still coming off the paper. But you can see the difference between the two, right? And one is much more subtle. So it really depends on what you want this to look like. And with some colors, if you were to use brighter colors, like when I use the red, the orange, and the yellow together, the white really stands out beautifully. This is more kind of a muted backdrop. And these are the same colors, but look at the different results. So you just never know how they're going to look after they dry. It will fade a little bit, but the black is still going to really stand out. So I want to play on these for just a little bit here. And what we're going to do is we're going to bring in, because we're working with water, good old watercolor pencils. And I remember doing this technique with Beautiful You. There was, I don't know if I have that card around anymore, but when I saw this umbrella, it made me think of it. The Beautiful You was images of a lady kind of dancing, and she was in a dress. Her arm was kind of out, and she was just dancing. And in a dress. It was so pretty. But I did this technique, and it looked amazing in the backdrop. So I'm going to use a little bit of turquoise. I'm going to use a little bit of, let's see, coral. I think I want to do coral. Do I have a coral here? That's a pumpkin pie. I thought I had a coral color. I guess I'll use the red. The red will end up looking more like coral because we are going to tone it down a little bit. I'm just doing my pencil sharpening as I go here. I was missing my pencil sharpener for, there's my coral. There it is. A little bit. Lance had it up there. I had to go search for it. Okay, so we are going to do a combination of colors. And I'm going to just shade in my umbrella in turquoise here. So with this white, we are going to pop some color off of it, and it's going to bring this image to life. So you can leave it as it is, or this is, again, we're stepping it up. We're adding a little bit of color. You know, I'm going to blend it with Wink of Stella too, right? So we're going to add some shine to it as well. It's going to look fantastic. We are going to go with a red jacket. And I'm just doing a little shading around the braid. I'm going to do the braid in a different color, probably a brown. But I like to do extra color along the outside. And the nice thing with the embossing on there is you have like these little ridges, right? Because the embossing raises up as it does its white magic. It raises up the edges as well. So when you add I could even use like a aqua brush or a water painter, and it would stay within the area, which is nice. Okay, let's see. I think my gray's not too bad. Okay. Now, the big question is, what color do we do the boots? Because we're going to be going into green territory here. I think I'm going to do green boots. They're just going to be a bolder green boot. Let's see. Do I have a old olive? I do. So I'm working on, like, this color is part of this color tone. So when I do the color over top, it's still going to look fantastic. The red is going to be bold. And that's why I kept the colors in the center of the block a little bit more, like just lighter, with the grays and the light blue, and not a lot of color. So therefore it can pop a ton. Yellow gumboots. I think we could get away with yellow. I think that's a great idea. I like that suggestion. Let's do yellow. Okay. I think this is daffodil. Yeah, this, if I do it dark enough, I think it'll pop on here. Okay, so I'm just going to add a little bit more color. I know the Beautiful You set was amazing. Any of the ones that what's that Friends one we have right now? Trying to remember it, the name of it. Treasured Friends or Timeless Friends. I can't remember. Anyway, it would be fabulous for this too. Okay, I'm going to do a little bit of brown for the hair. What color is that? That's crushed curry. I don't think that's going to show up enough. Let's do early espresso. Okay, and like I said, you are going to get a lighter version of the colors. So the red is going to end up looking more like coral. This is going to fade in this turquoise color. It's actually going to look really pretty. Okay, there we have got our base of it. Okay, now let me get out my Wink of Stella. I got a couple on the go here. Just going to make sure I got one that is loaded. That is not the one that I want. Where are you? There you are. Okay. Loaded as in we need some goodness still in our brush. Okay, this one I think is okay. All right, so now what I can do is I can go in with my Wink of Stella, and I'm going to brush over the areas and blend them. So we've done this before. We have just stamped and we've done white embossing, right? We did it with those ladies in that friendship set. And then we actually, if I remember right, we heat embossed on Pool Party, and then we colored, and then we hit it with the Wink of Stella to blend out all of the lines. So that's what I'm doing here, and I'm going over the image a little bit, and you can see how the black is going to definitely probably stand out a little bit more, but I do like the look of this kind of more muted white. It lets the color that we're actually putting down here pop a little bit more, where the black lines you're going to notice more, right? Does that make sense? I hope I'm making sense. Half the time when I'm in my creative world, I wonder if I make sense or not. Oh, I have to tell you a cute little story. I have another Wink of Stella here. I don't want to have to, yeah, this one's got more to it. The last couple days, I have been ripping apart, as I was saying, I have been ripping apart my craft room. Like, it is disaster zone. In fact, I have to kind of finish it up because Lance has got some people coming over this afternoon for some, I don't know, some baseball, or no, I think it's baseball pool, I think. They're coming over later. He's playing golf. He's playing golf with, hold on a second. Linda, yes, you are having your your quiet house right now. Me too. Our husbands are playing golf right now. Anyway, so this afternoon he's having people over, and so I do have to kind of pull it together a little bit because even though they're planning on being outside, they have to walk through the craft room to, you know, use the washroom and stuff. And there's like, I don't know, 13, 14 of them. So I have to do a little bit of tidying for sure. But I was busy working through cleaning some things up and putting some different little grab kits and stuff together. And like, I lose track of time. Like, it's that time warp, right? You walk into your craft room and you think you're there for, I don't know, an hour or so. And next thing you know, it's midnight. And it was literally midnight. So, Molly, whenever I'm down here and I'm making, because like I'm working the Big Shot, or the, you know, our cut and boss machine. It used to be called the Big Shot, right? I still have that in my head sometimes. But I'm cutting things and I'm, you know, moving things around. And one day she says to me, she says, Mom, you know, you're so noisy down there when you're tinkering about. That's what she calls it. She says that I'm tinkering about downstairs. I'm tinkering. So last night I actually, as I'm working away and I've totally lost track of time, I had my phone on. Look at how that color, isn't that beautiful? I had my phone on my work surface and my phone actually rings. It is midnight. She's upstairs. She's like, Mom, you're making a lot of noise down there. So that was kind of the end. Then I was like, okay, it is actually midnight and I need to go to bed. So, but yeah, she calls it tinkering. I tinker down in my craft room. All right, so there is our color on our water wash. Isn't that cool? I love it. Yes, it looks like the calm after the storm. It does. Does the blender brush do the same thing? It does do the same thing. That is a great question, Donna. It does the exact same thing, except it doesn't have the sparkle. So you can see how the blending, or the Wink Stella blends it, but it also gives you the sparkle. So that is the beauty of the Wink Stella. I rarely use my blending brushes anymore because I just like sparkle, and it's a fine sparkle. Okay, so that is, should we hop in and do, let's see, I'm gonna have to hit these guys with a heat tool just for a second before I can color on them. And that is a huge thing, is you can't have moisture. Like, look at the difference of that and that, right? This may fade out as I heat it up, but you can't have moisture in the paper as you go to color on it or stamp on it. If you try and stamp on it and it's still wet, because you can stamp directly on this. I could stamp a beautiful greeting on the bottom here. It is going to not stamp properly. It just won't, okay? If you go to color and you're using, your sharp pencil crayons or whatever, you could end up with paper tearing a little bit. So I'm going to just heat it with this, and it is probably going to fade the color slightly as it dries, and it starts to curl it a bit too. It's starting to curl and fly around. I still think this one, the color in the background is going to be maybe a little bit darker. The green definitely. Okay, so it starts to bow, then I hit it on the other side. Yeah, it really is a really cool effect, and I should pull out, really, I do have some stashes of other presses that I've done with other stamp sets. And maybe if I find one in my stash, see how the green's lightening up slightly. It's still pretty dark down here, but you'll be able to see just a different color on a different stamp set. Okay, I think we're getting close. We'll hit this one too. And it is lightening a little bit, those blues, but it's bringing out the gold a bit more, which is nice. There. I think we're good to go. Whew, that's noisy. Okay. So, I am tempted to try the same color tone just so that we can see the difference between the black and the white. What do we think? I think that would be the best comparison, right? So we'll do the red jacket. And then you can tell me what you think. I have a feeling I might know what you're gonna pick. But let's get our coloring done first before we do our vote, right? And I am going to see, I am not going to finish off these cards during the live. I'm going to take some time. I'm going to maybe add some texture and stuff around the, where's that? This is the color I want. Around the actual cards and figure out what colors cardstocks to mount them. I might do a basic gray, I think, for this black one, because I think that would really pull out. It wouldn't be too dark, but it'll pull out the gray in the paper and make, you know, the black stand out. I think I'm going to mount this one on a white piece of cardstock, and that will pull out the white in the images around the outline of the stamp there. Okay. Wow, this is so cool on the black. Okay, let's do that. And then I am going to be hitting the road. We'll see how much the yellow shows up. I almost love the look of the ombre that was in the yellow on the like the green on the boots. I almost didn't want to color this in, but we'll do it a little bit, and it'll your green is going to blend in with that yellow, but I think it's going to be really pretty. Okay, so while we are working at it, let's do a little bit of tone on tone with our butterfly here too. And this is the fun thing, is you can just intensify the color, or you can switch it up a little bit. So we're going to go like that. I'm going to add some yellow in here. We're going to see what that's going to look like. Let's see. And I want to say, when I was teaching, yeah, it was actually, I did this technique, and it was actually pretty brave of me to do it in a larger group at the rec center, because it was a bit messy, but oh my gosh, we loved it. But there was a group of ladies. I used to teach classes at Green Glade. Now I'm not at the rec centers anymore, But when I was first starting out and I was doing classes, I did do some out of the rec center and met some amazing ladies, some of them that are watching here today. It was where I first met you guys, and one of the classes that I did was with watercolor, and we used a butterfly stamp like this. We did a big, like a larger, like full card front like this, and it was a slightly smaller butterfly, but we did it like three of them kind of angled on the paper, and then we pressed with different colors, and it looked so cool. And then we just added a simple greeting, so you don't need to add a lot. And I might not fill in all of the squares in this, although it's hard not to. Okay, but I want to leave some that are slightly lighter. So let's just start with, I need my good Winkostella. Is that the one? Nope. 1, 2, third time lucky. Yep, there it is. Okay. So I'm going to just start with, look at that, with one color. Because the one thing with the Winkostella, just like the blending pens, you have to make sure that you get the color, because see how it's collecting color on the tip there? You just have to run it on some white paper, and that'll take the color out. So you don't have to worry about like, oh, is this gonna wreck my Winkostella? No, it's not. It's just something extra that you can do with it. That's why I have a zillion of these on the go. Okay, and then I'm going to run that color out, and then I'm going to pick the yellow up here. Now I did do the yellow strategically where it was, and look at how bright it is once you mix it with the Winkostella. It intensifies the color for sure. But I did do that yellow where the background wasn't as dark. Because if I added the yellow over the darker blue, then it may end up looking a little greeny, right? And we already have green right here. Okay. So pretty. The fun thing with the butterfly is, I mean, you could really play on some colors. You could even play on the exact same color. I can't remember if it was this one or this one that we used, but then you would just add more, right? So if you went a little bit heavier handed, then it just means that you're going to get a different shade of that exact same color that you put down. It's just going to be darker. Okay, so you can see how much fun you can have and playing with the different colors over top, right? So it's just a matter of filling in, blending it out, and we have our sparkle within those little compartments that we colored out. So this will turn into a beautiful card. I think I'm going to leave this edge, and I might stamp a greeting on that white edge. What do we think of that? And we'll frame it up with maybe some white texture. Oh, it's going to look fabulous. Okay, let's get to our beautiful umbrella here with the black. So, you know, I thought when I was trying to figure out what to do today, and like I said, my craft room is like turned upside down. I saw the Umbella Days and sitting out, and I thought, you know, it was cool to see how you could add the paper on top, right? To have a different look and put patterns and all that sort of stuff on these images. And I'll bring those out as well so we can compare the paper piecing with what we did today. But I thought, oh, as I was going through and I found my watercolor pencils and that, I thought, oh no, we are taking water to our Umbella Days. We are adding the water and we are adding the storm and the sky, and we're having fun. Okay. Oh yeah, this is perfect. That's enough yellow. That works, doesn't it? That makes it pop enough for sure. Now, we didn't add any color to the braid. Let's see here. Let's do a little bit of the early espresso, add a tiny, tiny bit of color in there. It's not going to show up as much, but it'll take that, because it's black outlining, right? But it'll take that white away, so it's not like a white, although it could be gray hair. That could work too. Okay. All right, so there is our white. There is our black. Here is our butterfly all filled in. Now, let's have a look and compare. We have one here. Okay. So, just different looks for the same image. Because this is what it's about, learning different ways in which you can get different looks out of your stamps, right? Okay, so there is those two. We're going to take the butterfly out of the way. And then here is just stamped and colored, right? Here is our piercing, where we use the paper to make a different effect on the boots and the umbrella. I mean, we haven't finished this card out yet, but just see how different that looks and the different ways that you can play with this stamp. Now, if I wanted to, I could, do a stamped image and you could just place it on this backdrop, right? You could just cut it out. You could have a cut image and you could place it on there. But I just love the way that it looks when you just color and you blend directly on the water. Cool, hey? Yeah. And not only that, the watercolor paper, it gives you a slightly different texture to it too, which is nice. Now, if I wanted to, I think we should try this. We could still, because I still have this little mask, because this was the dry one, right? I'm still a little nervous on actually stamping on this one. I think there's still a little bit of water in there, but we could actually still mask this. And ready for it? Let's try it. Add a little rain. Okay. Let's see. Make sure that my my raindrops are going the right way. Nice. Okay, so there is our actual rain we've added. So you can still, oh wow. What do we think of that? That is a cool way to finish that off for sure. Very cool. Okay, so just masking off afterwards that umbrella, add the raindrops. And that changes it up too. Steps it up a little more. Okay. We might, yeah, I'll probably add, maybe I'll add a little rain. I don't know. I kind of like this one with the black. I kind of like, it's like, as I think it was, Vivian was saying, it's like after the storm, the sky after the storm. Although the umbrella's still up. I feel like we might need rain on there, but it's still, if a little bit, no, I think it's okay. Oh my goodness. Do I do it? Do I not? Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Oh my goodness. Okay, we got to finish it off with the raindrops. We just have to. I do love that. Okay. I'm a little more nervous though because I love this so far. Oh no, this is going to make it amazing. If there's an umbrella up, I feel like we need to have the rain. Okay, let's do a little bit more. Okay, on a little angle, there's a little bit of a breeze. Yep. No, Lynn said no, don't do it. Now what do we think, Lynn? Is it okay? I was nervous about it. I don't know. I think the rain's all right. Okay. So there we have it. There is your water technique for today. I will stamp a little happy birthday on there, and that's going to look pretty amazing. Okay. Okay, so let's give away a fun fold, shall we? It's a good way to finish this off. We're going to give away a fun fold. Okay, what color are the raindrops? They are smoky slate. I went with a smoky slate because that's the color that's in the backdrop here that I used, but it's lighter. I think that if I did a basic gray, the raindrops would almost look black and it would not be good. Still like it better without on that one. I know, I was a little nervous doing it, but with our umbrella up, I thought, what the heck? Try it anyway, right? Okay, so there we have got different looks. Yep. Okay. All right, so let's see here. We are going to go with, I'm going to go with number 6. Number 6, okay? All right, starting number 6. Let's see here. Who we have got is going to win a fun fold from me. And then, yeah, I encourage you. I will put the link up in the description as soon as I'm done here. And yeah, definitely check out the paper ribbon and Good Times product share, as well as if you still want to join my May card club, you can check that out too. All the information's in the links. Okay. All right. So we got Deborah's 1, Pat 2, Alexina 3, Vivian 4, Bonnie 5, Mary Ann, you are the winner. Mary Ann, you are getting this one right here. This fun fold kit. I'm putting your name on it right now. It's going to be on pencil crayon right now, but I will switch it up because we don't want it to get wet, and next thing you know, there's no name on it at all, right? Mary Ann. Perfect. Okay. So that one is going to be mailed out to you tomorrow. So congratulations. And I hope you guys have a great day. Get out those blocks, get out the water, have some fun. If you're looking for a great mister, these are our Stampin' Misters, and they are amazing for this sort of thing. You can use a big mister, but these, you can control the mist a little bit better. They're super reasonable. I think you get 2, you do get 2 in a package. So I have got one that I put alcohol in, rubbing alcohol. Sometimes this one has a little bit of enamel effects in there to add some shimmer to the paper. And then the other one I keep with just water in it. And I use that for my techniques. So they're great. It's a great little extra thing to grab. I did this one as well. The green got away from me a little bit here, but we have got all 3. So I will end up trying to play, maybe I'll make it like a chocolate lab to cover up that green. I think that would work. And I will color out this one here with the mom and the child and the little dog on there. It's just not going to be a golden dog. It's going to be a chocolate lab on that one maybe. Okay, so I'll have some fun with that later on. You can check that out. I'll post some finished pictures. And you guys enjoy the rest of your day, okay? Take care, everyone. Thanks for joining me. And I hope you enjoyed this. Bye for now.